Yes, you can make money online and sell digital products without showing your face. But it's not as simple as just uploading faceless videos to Instagram and thinking that you're going to get paid. So in this video, I'm exposing the truth about faceless marketing, what actually works, and how you can make it work for you without having to buy some expensive, overwhelming digital marketing course. Hey there, I'm Oliver. I'm a six-figure digital product seller and mentor, and I help you start your own business so that you can get the same level of freedom that I've gotten from it. Now, I can't tell you how many people I know that have held themselves back and have stopped themselves from making money online with digital products because they just don't want to show their face online. And I get it. I was the exact same way when I started. I had a 9 to 5. I didn't want my friends and family to know what I was doing, and I was just scared to put myself out there. I didn't want to put myself out there online for people to judge me. So I started with faceless marketing. But honestly, I soon realized that it was a lot more difficult than people were making it out to be. And I found it so hard to really differentiate myself from all the other faceless marketers out there. Everybody was just essentially posting the exact same content, and they were promoting these digital marketing resale courses, which to me don't really make any business sense. In fact, I don't really like the digital marketing courses at all, and I recommend that you stay away from them. But there is a way to make faceless work for you. And I learned this the hard way, so I'm going to break down the easy way in this video, which is essentially a free faceless marketing course. So let's get into the first lesson, which is that you still need to build your own brand, even though you're faceless. I think that a lot of people forget that when you're faceless, they think that, nobody knows who I am. I don't need to build a brand. I don't need to tell anybody about my story. I don't need to connect with anybody on a personal level. But that couldn't be further from the truth. In fact, because you are faceless and nobody can see you, it's actually harder for them to trust you. And so if you want to build trust, you need to build a trustworthy brand. But how do you do that when nobody can see your face? How do you get people to trust you when you are essentially just this voice or this text in the ether, right? You're behind a screen. Well, you do it by telling your story. You tell your story in your posts. You put your story in your captions. You put your story in your emails. You share as much information as you are comfortable with sharing, because even though people don't know who you are or what you look like exactly, they're going to know what you've been through. They're going to know exactly what struggles you faced, and they'll know how you overcame those struggles. And from that, they can still connect with you deeply on a personal level, even if they can't see your face. So the first rule for faceless marketing is that you need to go hard on building your brand. You need to build your personal brand like it is your business, because if you do it right, it can be your business, and it will be your business. You can much more easily sell a product to your audience when you have a brand and when people trust you. But you can't sell a product when people don't know, like, and trust you, because let's be honest, when it comes to digital products, people buy from people. So you need to make sure that people are connecting with you. So tell your story, give your personal perspective. You can even comment on things that are happening in your industry. Just make sure that you have a voice and that your voice is being heard, that your personality is getting through the noise. Now, a lot of people say that educational content is dead, but I strongly disagree. I love educational content. All of the videos on my channel are dedicated to educating you on how to make money online. But when you are a faceless brand, you need to go even harder on the education. You need to make sure that you are bringing value. Now, value doesn't always mean education. It can mean other things. But education is the easiest way that I've found to give value. So think of short tips, step-by-steps, quick behind-the-scenes or tutorials. These are some of the things that you can use to really build your value-based content. And when you give value, the law of reciprocity kicks in, which is when you give value, people are more likely to give their time back, whether that's watching your videos, engaging with your content, and eventually buying what you're selling. And I use the word eventually quite tactically here, because you need to understand that throughout all these points, it's usually going to take you a lot longer than you expect to get your first sale. It's going to take you a lot longer to build your brand. And that's just me being real with you. The trade-off when going faceless is that it'll take a bit more time to build that trust. It's going to take a little bit more time to build that audience and to get those sales. You cannot expect to not show your face and expect things to be the same as if you did show your face. Because like I mentioned, people connect with people, and it's a lot easier to do that when they can see your eyes, when they can see the person that they're connecting with. Now, there are some other challenges that you are going to face on your Faceless journey, but you need to know that building Faceless does work. It just takes a little bit more time and a little bit more effort, but it does work. So just remember that as you're going into this. Now, before we go into the next lesson, if you are looking for my #1 way to make a full-time income from home, then I'm going to put that link in the description and pinned comment for you below. Okay, so lesson 3 is all about your visuals. You've probably seen the same visuals used all the time, the same ones that most people are using, and if you're like me, you're probably tired of seeing them, like most people on the internet are at this point. So you need to make sure that your visuals are unique in your content. So there are 3 ways that you can do this. First, you can use stock photo sites that are a bit more exclusive. So instead of your typical Canva, you can do something like Content Cove, or you can think about Pixabay. I mean, Pixabay is still a little overused, but just think of those types of exclusive sites. You may also have to pay to get your hands on that stock content, but just ask yourself, is it worth paying to stand out, or do you just want to do it for free and look like everybody else and just get pushed into the background like everybody else? The choice is yours. Second, you can do it with AI. There are so many AI image generation tools available right now, it is nuts. And making unique visuals and content with AI is easier than it has ever been, and in most cases, you can do it for free. Now, third, you can create your own content, and this is my favorite way to do it. You don't have to show your face, you just show angles from behind your face, show angles from where your face is not visible, show angles from your point of view that will give you unique content that you know nobody has. And again, it's a part of building a brand. Using a combination of all 3 is powerful, but personally, creating your own content and keeping it faceless is going to perform the best for you in terms of engagement, followers, and ultimately sales. Now, some bonus tips for you. Have your own color scheme. Have your own type of text. Have your own fonts. Something that's immediately recognized as being part of your brand. So basically, just ditch that overused stock content because, trust me, it is not helping you at all. The next one is all about building your own engagement. You'll probably see on Instagram a lot of people comment on their own posts. A lot of people ask for comments and engagement, and this is what you need to do. So do not feel cringe or awkward doing it. This is a key to getting more engagement and getting more people to see your content. So ask for comments, comment on your own posts, comment on other people's posts, reply to your comments that you are getting from your viewers and your followers with open questions. Don't just put an emoji or a thumbs up, but how did you find this video? Or what do you want to see next? Or how did your journey start? Actually create opportunities for engagement. Again, this is going to help you build your relationships and build your brand so much quicker. Forget about the cringe. We don't care about the cringe, right? You are faceless. There's nothing cringy about commenting on your own posts. And like I said, everybody does it, even the biggest creators. Now, the last step here is possibly the most important, and it's the most interesting, I think. I always leave the most interesting points for the end, and I just hope that people get here because you need to create your faceless funnel. Now, a funnel is a really overused marketing term. I've been in marketing for over 5 years, and if I had $1 for every time that I heard the word funnel, I would be a millionaire over and over, and maybe even over again. Probably 8 figures. But all a funnel is are the steps that you take people on, right? Going from them not knowing you at all to buying your product. So what steps are you taking? What journey are you taking people on? You need to make sure that your funnel starts with something that is well suited to faceless content. So a lot of people start their funnels with Instagram content, and that works. But have you tried Pinterest? Because Pinterest, it's a beautiful platform, and it's so well suited for faceless content. And the point is that at the start of your funnel, you want as many people to come to you from as many places as you can. So if you're just promoting on Instagram, then don't stop doing that. Keep going, but then build it with Pinterest. And also check out YouTube faceless content as well, and then post on TikTok. Then think about where and how you are taking someone to the next stage. What do you want people to do? Is it realistic to ask people to view your content and buy straight away, especially if you're a brand new brand? Well, they don't know you yet. They don't trust you, and they don't even think that you have a face, right? So you need to make sure that there's something in between somebody discovering you and then you asking them to buy your product. It could be a freebie, it could be a blog post, it could be a podcast, a checklist, anything. You need to give them some bridging content. I mean, some people like to take people commenting on their posts as a sign that people are ready to buy. But in most cases, they're not ready to buy yet. Because in most cases, they're not ready to buy unless they've been around for a while, unless they've been commenting for a while, unless they've been building a relationship with you for a while. But the reality is you're faceless and you need to build a relationship. And how does that start? Well, it starts with value. You see how all the points are connecting? You provide enough value, and then you can funnel these viewers and followers into becoming buyers. Essentially, the main funnel is something like this: freebie, email list, product, upsell, and then you continue the funnel to potentially sell them additional mentorship, coaching, etc. if you can. And so with that funnel and with the knowledge that this may take a little bit of time and that you are going to have to put the work in, you now have the tools to start this business, even if you don't want to show your face. And my recommendation is to always be face forward if you can. I saw a lot more momentum in my business as soon as I went face forward. But that faceless approach that I took at the start did help. I built my brand that way. I made my first $500 faceless. And I didn't really know what I was doing. I didn't have a funnel. I didn't have trainings like this. I didn't have the know-how on how to build those relationships with my customers. So with that, if you want to see my #1 recommendation for making a full-time income online from home, then that link will be pinned in the comment below and in the description below as well. Thank you for watching, and I will see you in the next video.